Is Ghana now cheating to solve its economic woes? We're going to dive into that. I think Ghana is cheating because now to get your own money from the bank, operating a business in Ghana could be challenging. What do I mean by that? Well, aside from dealing with people, the scary stories that you've been hearing about, it is true. But aside from that, there is a financial aspect, right? Ghana experienced crazy inflation year over year, but in the recent years, in the past 3 years, it's been bizarre. To get you to conceptualize this, the cities depreciated like wildfire, right? Came from $1 equals 5.7 Ghana cedis to 16 in a matter of less than a year. It went back down, but now we are back to where we were. This was so terrible. This hardship, this inflation, this quick depreciation of the cities drove a lot of businesses away. And we're going to get into this article. What kind of big international businesses left Ghana due to its economic challenges? Now, don't get me wrong, Ghana is not the only nation struggling, but it has one of the worst performing currencies in the entire world. So the challenge here is on a whole different level, both for businesses and individuals. So what can you do to protect yourself during these challenging times and this quick and fast inflation in this country? Why are some other companies still surviving? And why are other companies going down? We're going to dive into all of that. And what can you do to protect your money? Before we dive into the solution, let's look at some companies that just had to cut it short and, cut ties with Ghana and move on with their lives. Let's look at some big international companies that gave up by looking at an article on Ghana Web. List of multinational companies that have left Ghana in recent times. This article was written in May. Now, Ghana's economic landscape has posed challenges for multinational companies, resulting in significant exodus of brands from the country. Before I dive into this article, I'm not gonna read it. It's gonna be a little boring, so I'm gonna just list the companies that left. Some of the complaints that I hear from local businessmen and women is just think about this. I go and buy something, right? I go and I buy a widget. In accounting, we love using widgets as an example. I go and I buy a widget for 10 Ghana cedis, right? I plan on selling that widget for 13 Ghana cedis. My profit is 3 Ghana cedis. If I'm not on top of my game, what do I mean by that? I need to know how much my source, where I'm getting it for 10 cedis. I got to know that when I go back, it's still going to be 10 cedis because that's not the case. So what drove a lot of people, right? Even local business people, their money just got less and less and less. The stuff that they could buy before they couldn't. This is what happened. I buy the thing for 10 cedis. I'm selling for 13. And when I go back 2 weeks later, going to buy the same thing for 10, now it's 13. So my profit that I thought I made, I didn't make it. And sometimes even the profit that you thought you make, when you go to buy it for 10 cedis, is now 14. So you are spending more money. You made no money, you spend it. People couldn't handle it, right? A lot of people went under for this very reason. You buy something, you have your markup, and by the time you finish selling it, you go back, the wholesale price is more than how much you were selling it for. So you have to be on top of your game. You have to be calling people to make sure that they haven't increased the price, or you have to keep increasing for example, cement, right there. Increasing cement prices every day. So if I'm in my corner selling cement and I'm not checking on other prices elsewhere, then I'm not going to know people are increasing their prices. Why are they increasing the prices? Because the wholesale part is also increasing their price. And if they don't do that, by the time they go to buy, they will be losing money. So this is a huge problem for a lot of people in Ghana. When inflation is happening, it usually happens once a year and it's a little bit, right? The thing that you bought for 10 cedis, maybe a year from now or 2 years from now, is now going for 11 cedis. Now you could predict that. That's okay. Now when 2 weeks later you go back and something go from 10 cedis to 13, it's crazy, isn't it? Also, this makes the economy tough. So people don't have enough money to disposable income, right? When life is tough, they're not out here. They only buy necessities. So business became really tough and, hectic for a lot of companies. We're going to dive into the solution to that as well. But let's look at some companies that couldn't handle the stress or they thought it wasn't worth it and they left. We're going to look at Glovo. Glovo, the delivery service provider, announced its exit from the Ghanaian market effective May 10th, 2024 due to profitability challenges and a difficult business climate. The company stated, whilst we recognize the potential of Ghana market, building a stronger position and achieving profitability will require substantial investment over an extended period. This is why we have decided to redirect our resources towards the other 23 countries where Glovo operates to better serve the millions of customers who have used Glovo app every day. So Glovo will be like your Uber Eats, it will be like your DoorDash, and I think I forgot the color of their bag. Is it green? Yeah, you see it all over when I first came to Ghana. So it's like your Uber Eats, and they deliver food and other stuff. I think I never used it before, but I used to see it all over. So it's such a shame that they are leaving. Then we have Nivea, the skincare brand discontinued its operations in Ghana in December 2023, citing high operating costs and taxation as reasons for its departure. Yeah, taxes could kill you in Ghana, man. The company's action was a result of the need to streamline operations and focus on markets where sustainable growth and profitability can be achieved. There are a lot of hidden costs in business in Ghana. We're going to get into that as well. E-levy, all these charges in the banks, it's just bizarre. We're going to dive into it. Is Ghana now cheating to solve its economic woes? We're going to dive into that. I think Ghana is cheating because now to get your own money from the bank, you'll get the money, but they play some sort of politics with it. And I'm going to dive into all of that. Don't get me wrong. Now we're going to go to Jumia Food, right? Jumia is also like your Amazon, and they were doing deliveries as well. Popular e-commerce platform Jumia shut down its food delivery division in December 2023 due to unsustainable market conditions and economic factors. This closure also reflects Jumia's financial difficulties, including a significant 41% loss amounting to 49.8 million in the last quarter of 2022. Then we have Lipton's tea, we have Dark and Lovely, BT, 365, Game. Game was a big one. They sell electronics and all that. They left Accra Mall. A lot of companies, right? I'm not going to dive into all of that to bore you guys. But to make the long story short, operating a business in Ghana has become extremely difficult in the past 3 years due to all this, inflation, the rapid, depreciation of the cities. It's hard to keep up. This is where people get mad. When you hear somebody pricing something in dollars, you get mad, right? If I'm pricing you a building for $80,000, there's a reason behind it. We actually do all our calculations in the bill of quantities, which is the BOQ. That's how much the building is going to cost you. Everything is in cities. But at the day of that calculation, we use the current rate and we peg it to the dollar. So as the cedis is depreciating, which is inevitable because we do have BOQs from a year ago where $1 was 11 cedis. Now $1 is going to give you close to 16. And as the cedis is depreciating, they are also increasing the prices of materials. So until you would have pegged that to the dollar, you're going to be losing. So that has protected us. That's why people are pricing things in dollars or cedis equivalent, right? Now, when we get paid in dollars, you go to your dollar account, yes, and we hold on to the dollars, we exchange it as and when it's necessary, and then we use it, right? Because holding on to the cedis could cause you substantial damage, right? Now, it's becoming a problem because more people are realizing that their cedis is depreciating right before their eyes, and a lot of people are using the dollar as their gold. They're exchanging the cedis to dollars, even individuals. So Ghana is trying to stop that. At least they've tried to scare them that holding on to your dollar account in Ghana and all that, if it is a good thing, but it is also scary. It's not going to be allowed unless you are a company. So if you have dollars in your dollar account and you're a company, you should be okay, right? That is not the case. In the past 3 months, it's been difficult to withdraw your dollar amount, right? Before this, you can go in, just got to let them know a day in advance and go and withdraw $10,000 cash in dollars, $20,000 cash in dollars, $100,000 cash in dollars. In the past 3 months, because the cedis was depreciating like crazy, and I think Ghana is deliberately cheating here, but it's okay because it has kept the cedis under 16 for quite some time now because it was flying. So I get it. I'm not mad. Now, if you want to go in and take $10,000, you cannot do that. The bank said, we have like $1,000 limit for the day. So what you're going to do is you are forced to exchange because we spend in cedis. So now what we are doing is, we're going to get to the cost of banking in Ghana, right? So let me break this down to you. If you get inflows, if you get foreign currencies into your account, when you are withdrawing, you got to pay the bank. Some banks are going for 2.5%. That's the lowest you're going to get because that's what Bank of Ghana is taking. Some banks don't take anything. You get a 2.5. You pay 2.5%, 3%, or 3.5%. That's the highest I've seen. 3.5% on the money. And if you are doing construction for $1 million, that is $35,000 at the end of the construction. It's money. So people are paying significant amount of money to withdraw these foreign currencies. Well, if you get a foreign currency, you are going to exchange it to the cities because that's what we are spending here. People don't go to the shops and stuff and spend dollars. It's not the case. We keep the dollars to protect ourselves against the rapid depreciation of the cities. And as and when we need to spend the cities, we exchange it, and that's how people that's how people are rolling here, right? The reason why I'm not mad, the reason why I'm not crying, the reason why you guys haven't heard me say anything about me not being able to take dollars is because they did give me a good rate, right? So if you are dealing with a bank, banks could be extremely greedy in Ghana. Yes, they can be extremely greedy. You thought in the States and UK, you were supposed to get a high interest rate on your savings account, your checking. You thought so? No, in Ghana, they actually charge you to spend your own money. You don't get the interest, they charge you. For how dare you put money in our bank and then you want to spend it now, right? It's like that. So they have been generous. If you would have taken the dollars and exchanged it, the money that I would have gotten would have been lower than the exchange rate they'd given to me from the bank and bypassing that rule of charging me that 3.5%, 3%. So I'm not mad because we are only spending cities. We are just holding on to the dollar to protect ourselves, all right? So let's say this week we need about $10,000 for our construction work. I will move $10,000 into cities and we spend that $10,000 in the city's equivalent. And then the following week we do the same thing, and that protects us to whatever the cities is doing. This is how to go about it. And more and more people are finding out, and it was hurting the country, but I think they figure a way out. What they're doing, I think, I'm not mad at that. It's cool. Run a business in Ghana is not just you running your business. You have to understand all these intricacies, right? The currencies, the fluctuations, the taxes, the e-levy. So before you can just pay somebody easily using mobile money, right? On the phone in Ghana, or Voda money or whatever, it's easy. You pay someone rather than driving to the person and whatnot. But over a year ago, almost 2 years ago, Ghana introduced something known as e-levy, where they charge you 1% every amount that you are sending to somebody. So they tax you. Then when you are sending money to somebody, they tax the person. And when that person sends the same money to somebody else, they tax that person. And it can add up if you're dealing with large numbers. So now you got a lot of cash flowing around and less electronics and all that. The business terrain, so while there are a lot of opportunities, you have to know how to navigate all of this. But thankfully, we've been able to navigate it. And that's why we are still here. We make it work, right? We make it work. By writing checks, doesn't attract e-levy. Taking cash doesn't attract e-levy. Transfers from bank to bank, right? Flat fee does not attract e-levy. So there are ways to go about it and not attract e-levy, right? But the mobile money platform and stuff like that, e-levy really hurts. There are economic challenges going on in Ghana right now for both businesses and individuals. And even bank companies cannot withstand. The inflation is crazy. The economy is tough. But we are still making it work. Have you noticed that you haven't been hearing a lot of people talking about, I'm moving to Ghana? It was a big thing, but not, it's getting tough. It's getting tough out here. It's getting tough everywhere, right? It's getting tough in the West. It's getting tough everywhere. But with a proper planning and proper understanding of the system, you're going to do just fine. As a matter of fact, you're going to do extremely well if you do understand this.